do some woodworking. Remind ourselves that we're still a content creator. Get you back here in the shade, so hopefully things pan out. Nice. Yeah, it's a nice composition. Alright. So, first thing we have to do is sand. Right now. Phone case right now. Get to edge bandings. We're going to start with 50. Nice. Now, I've been working on this project for far too long. It feels endless, which is why it's a great woodworking project. Because any good woodworking project should go far longer than you ever expect or desire. Alright, let's sand her up. Sanding ASMR you didn't know you needed. One more. Maybe not. I'm uncertain of the next step in how to do this. We want to put veneer on this. That's curved. It's not a perfectly square cut. I'm just emotionally preparing for things to not go my way. You know what I'm saying? Getting my iron, believe it or not. One of the most underrated woodworking tools I could have ever imagined. I learned this when I like to make stuff. Basically, you're making furniture using plywood. Yo, what's up, Jeremiah Harris? Welcome, friend. If you're making doing woodworking out of plywood, you could put edge banding, which is like a veneer that looks like birch. It's skinny, and you kind of put it on the edge, and then when you stain it, it looks like it was a solid piece of wood that you cut. So it's cheap, and it's acceptable. That's what we're gonna say. It's acceptable. But the one thing I've never tried to do, you have to use your iron to heat it. Normally, you have to pull the iron along a smooth surface. With this curved surface, I don't know if it'll take it. So we'll find out. We're going to try on the fat pieces first. Then we'll go from there. And then after that, we're going to cut it with a knife without hopefully cutting ourselves. And then sand it with 3 different grits. And then stain it. And then sand and stain the other pieces I've been working on. And then assemble. But I probably won't live stream the assembly because it's inside and it's Saturday. So it's an underwear day for the kids. Live with enough constraints in their life. No need to make life happens to me, right? So one of the first things I might do, get out my knife. One of the best Amazon basic knives I've ever gotten. It's like so over designed. It's got a little guard on it and everything. It's great. 10 out of 10. Link in bio. I'm just kidding. There's no link in bio for this. Just go to Amazon and buy a knife. I don't need your money. Joshua Bellarmir, put hand in. Put hand in on iron? No. Oh, that's bad. That's a bad memory, friend. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get this to like follow the contour of this. Which this is... Actually, I'm pretty proud of how this has turned out thus far. Like, this is a pretty solid jigsaw job. I'm doing woodworking in my backyard in Tokyo, so welcome, friends. I'm an engineer, 4 kids. We just moved the 13th time to continue our life out here. And our new house is super small compared to what anything we've ever had. So I have to do some custom built furniture just to make it more feasible for our family, if that makes sense. Well, hope you have fun. Thank you so much, buddy. What is it gonna be when it's finished? When it's finished, it's going to be like a table, like a, what is it, like a bar style table, so like countertop height, with stools under it and storage under it, and then a bookshelf on top of it. So it's like a really weird custom hybrid piece of furniture just to max this awkward corner out. It doesn't make a lick of sense, but it's gonna be epic when it's done. Maybe I'll make a YouTube video of it. Should I start at the top of this or the bottom? I'm gonna do the top. I'm just gonna hope for the best, my friends. And just like you to know, I have no idea what I'm doing because it's curved. So just so much uncertainty. Not taking well to this. Ah, freaking hot. It's melted glue on the inside, right? So like, basically I had to stick the first kind of top portion of it. And trying to get it. So there's no aesthetic way for me to film this. I'm just fighting to figure this out. Like any good project one could do, this is probably going to take way more trial and error and work than I ever could have imagined. This concept is already not adhering well. I'm like, do I abandon ship? Once I do one, I'm committing to all. And I'm worried about gaps. Be safe, the wind, gotta go. I don't know about this. Is the wind unbearably distracting? Is that why you're mentioning the wind, friend? Because I can't control the wind volume, I'm so sorry. Did you ever hit the iron surface by accident? Oh, like with my hand? Not regularly. Although this isn't like an everyday thing. I do woodworking sporadic. No, this isn't gonna work. It's alright, I accept defeat. This is a bad idea. Shoot, how do I get it off? Melt it off. I can't get it on smooth, which means that these are gonna come up. So we're just gonna make it as smooth as possible, and it won't match, and that's okay. Like everything in your life doesn't have to match. It's just a table. I'm only gonna live here for 2 years. Nobody's gonna judge me, except maybe all of the internet. Like, look at that idiot who couldn't do his edge banding properly. Because that's how the comments be sometimes, friends. Cool rock climbing thing. Yeah, it used to be a woodworking bench. Because I had a bigger garage at our first house in Japan before we had to, before I exited J&J and lost my housing. So I had to find a different place. And I was like, I had to destroy this beautiful woodworking table. I was like, what can I turn it into as quickly as possible? And I repartitioned it for the kids. And I'm super happy with it. Thanks for the like, by the way, friend. Appreciate that. Kalumevo. Alright, so we're bailing on the edge banding. Means we could turn off the iron. The 4 kids are enjoying whatever it is they're enjoying. Oh, look at you, you crafty little fella. How's it going, Trump? I don't know why I pictured like Johnny Depp from Willy Wonka saying that. My son's been on a Willy Wonka kick, but unfortunately it's not the original one with, oh, he's dead now. What the heck's his name? Yeah, not Gary Sinise. Is Gary Sinise dead? No. Gene Wilder. Yeah, man, nice move. I work in outdoor tourism myself. That's fantastic. Very cool. So yeah, I'm a pretentious engineer. I do engineering consulting right now. So it's gonna get loud. So we hit all of these. I'm gonna hit this one once more with the 50 grit just because there's some adhesive I screwed up on it, and then we're gonna go down to the 80 grit. Our mantra for this project, because I'm a perfectionist, is it's just a table. So we're just gonna get it done and move on. Excuse me, good sir, do you find little children attractive? That's the wrong question for this community, friend. You are Sandimal. Sandimal, like an animal. Alright. Let's see, where do we go next? So we're gonna go down to the 80 grit. How do I do this? Moderate. Well, friend, enjoy your 10-minute timeout. I got 4 kids, so we don't chat that way here. But welcome. All right. So we got P80. So if you haven't enjoyed the wonders of sanding, it's meticulous and time-consuming. But if you just follow the process, the outcome's always awesome. You just gotta be on that grind. Literally grinding stuff off. He's a good dude. Build and be cool. R.I.P. that person. Not R.O.P. I always give people at least one chance to just understand like the tone of the channel. So like we're half wholesome, family friendly-ish. And we just welcome folks into the frenzy of our world as we learn how to raise 4 kids out here. I've run into like legitimate child predator kind of folks in our channel in the past. So I have a sensitivity and intention to it. There's some humor and jokes I navigate, but not those ones. But if they can turn themselves around, Spectral Gate's welcome to come back after 10 minutes. But they normally just bounce to someone else to ruin their day. Alright, here we go. Let's get cranking. Dang, this man is cool, just scrolling and found. Well, hey, thank you so much. I've been at it for a while. I'm like a global medtech entrepreneur, so I've worked in surgical robotics for J&J for about a decade, and then I exited about 60 days ago in order to keep my family based in Japan. How tall is the table going to be? It's going to go up to the ceiling. The table will be 36 inches off the ground, but then there'll be a built-in storage unit on the back side of it. So it'll be kind of like a breakfast brunch nook table craft thing. It's multi-purpose. It's awesome. No one's gonna have a table like this once it's done. And I got the whole board put together, like the whole tabletop. That was a nightmare because all the boards were warped. Nice. Yep. And but yeah, I do content. I do live streaming. I've made around 1,700 short form pieces of content. So if this live doesn't satisfy you and you have more time to burn, you can just binge my snarky engineering, sarcastic content. Well, I'm gonna go. All right, bye, friend. Let's keep sanding. Drop grit again. Y'all are too generous. Far too generous. One second, I gotta wrap up a cable. We're making good progress. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's anarchy inside right now. So now we get to drop the grit from 80 to 120. Have a good time. See you, friend. So this is going down to 120. Excellent. And then we'll do 220, and then we'll start staining. And that'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Change our grit. This is incredibly exciting. to the one person who's hanging out watching me sand, you're an absolute champion. Oh, I'm so sore. I need to take a shower. Oh, now it's 3 people. What? So just because I'm talking, the algorithm's like, wait, words are happening. Maybe he's worth watching after all. Last round. Now when you go from 120 to 220, grit, sanding, like that's where the magic is. Things just feel nice. And then we'll stain it. So we got this stack all done. So these will be angle supports for our table. tabletop. And then I have a couple more pieces that I'm going to get sanded. And then we will work on staining. All in one big batch. One more, and then we can start painting. Painting's a little bit more soothing and less obnoxious from a noise-scape perspective. Y'all ready to stain? Yo, Jose. Sorry, I didn't notice that you're here. What are you building? That one kid who does nothing, who did nothing in the group project. Are you talking about me? I'm sorry, I was always the one frustrated with that individual, so it's just really funny. That one kid who does nothing in the group project ends up woodworking in their backyard in Tokyo. I'm trying to understand your intent, but either way it makes me laugh. Dude, you don't even have sandpaper on. Yes, I do. I had the 220 grit. What are you talking about, bud? Alright, I gotta go grab my my stain. Can you hang out for like 12 seconds while I go inside? I know the internet has really low attention span, so I understand how looking at a rock wall might cause you to disengage, but I do commit to coming back at some point. So it may be worth your time. Maybe. Need a paintbrush? Oh God. I'm okay. That could have been way worse. Could hopefully none of my stains spilled. Alright. You still here, friend? Bro, the sander is empty. It is not empty. What are you talking about? Watch this. You ready for that nice ASMR P sound? Here it comes. Oh, is that giving you anxiety? I'm gonna put it back on though. You want me to say your name while I peel off sandpaper? You ain't slick. I know you ducking below trying to put that down. What are you talking about? Alright. So time to stain. Welcome to Tokyo, friend. I'm glad you're here. Alright. Move my other grit sandpaper away. So I think we'll do these are one coat behind, but these have two sides, so I'm torn. Let's get the first coat on these, and then we'll get the first coat on this, and then the other sticks on the second coat on this. And hopefully we can actually start building in the snowboard. Oh, camp sandpaper, cameo. I've never seen black sandpaper, my bad. Oh, you're fine, friend. Alright, now we don't have a lot of this, so that's expensive. This little can was $50 because it's imported. Now, I'm sure there's some version of polyacrylic in Japan, but I thought I bought it last time and it ended up not being polyacrylic. So I just sucked it up and imported it on Amazon. Bought 2 of these things, but I'm gonna have to get 2 more. It's got a whole bunch of bubbles in it. Crap, because I dropped it. How's Tokyo life? You know, it's a lot of fun. We have 4 kids, so it keeps us busy. But we're making a life out here the best we can. Right now we're trying to figure out Japanese health insurance, which is a hoot, and then I'm entering the Japanese startup scene as well, so I'll be a founder and CEO of a company focused on helping fathers become more present with their kids, which I'm really excited about. And I'm doing like engineering consulting as well. So job keeps me busy. I'm doing a lot of content creation and brand management for folks. So I'm in this weird transition period. I've spent a decade in Johnson & Johnson advancing surgical robotics, and now I'm like totally readapting my skill set and starting my own ventures and proving to myself that, yeah, we could find a way to do a life out here. Gosh, it's so satisfying when the color changes with stain. Like all the grain pops. Alright, so I think we'll hold it on this side. I don't know what I'm doing. See, it's so nice. So polyacrylic just makes wood pop. Like, it makes the grain epic, which is why I like it stylistically. And I mean, I could have put any kind of stain on it. I could have painted it all black, but like, if you're gonna go through all this work to put wood together and then just paint it an arbitrary color, like, what's the point? Like, I like seeing the grain. Call me old-fashioned. I think one coat on these might actually be fine. Although with 2, you always get like just a little bit more pop, so I'm torn. There you go. One of them's done. Very nice. And then I'm actually like balancing these precariously on a garage roof to dry, of all things. Oh God. But it's windy. This is becoming more effort than I want it to be. There you go. Let's do the next one. Brand management for locals or remote for folks in the US. What are you building? Oh, all the good questions today, bud. So I'm doing brand management for a full-time content creator named Pancake Princess. She's amazing. She does these bake-offs that are super meticulous, where she'll like bake 9 different pretzel recipes side by side so that you can have confidence that you found the ultimate pretzel. Her blog's crushing it. She gets like 250,000 views on her blog per month, so she's full-time from that. And then I'm working on unlocking her YouTube, so I have like a shared success model with her, where if her YouTube channel tips, then I financially benefit from it. So I'm going to be doing all of her edits, and then down the road, other other stuff for her channel as well. It should be fun. And then for what I'm building, I'm making a custom storage unit, counter bench style table bookcase. It's like an everything piece of furniture because our house is so small, so I have to be adaptable. So I'm trying to make the most out of the space we currently have. So it's kind of a very, very custom build. I don't know why anyone would make this table the way that I'm making it, unless they literally lived in the same house we have with 4 kids and needed to find a special way to make it all work. But these are like little angle brackets that'll keep everything together, hopefully. But Jose, what part of the world are you in, friend? Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. I mean, if you're in the US, it's got to be a really bizarre time right now. Super late. But friends, for anyone new here, welcome to the Frenzy of My World as I learn how to raise 4 kids in Japan. My channel's all over the place. So I do gaming, I do cooking, I put a GoPro on my head and go for runs in Japan and chat while I'm wheezing. I do lifting. Right now I'm starting a series where I just take you into like how I run my own business. So like every week when I'm organizing like which tasks are important, which I call sprint planning, I just record those little 30-second sessions so you could literally see how I'm trying to build a full-time business in Japan. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship and you want to kind of be invested in whether or not this venture is successful or not, that might be cool for you. I don't know, because I don't know you. Houston. Oh, that's not too bad. 1:20 a.m. That's standard. Are you a young guy? I feel like it's all the young people. They're like, I'll stay up till 1 or 2 in the morning, listen to this random dude in Tokyo while he's sanding and woodworking, talking about life, play some Fortnite. I'm just trolling. Let's pop that over there. I got 3 more. That's funny. I'm very busy. All right, like at my peak. I mean, maybe I'm gonna find a new peak. 27. Nice. Yeah, you're still young. I'm 32. I'm 32 with 4 kids and a 12 years of marriage. What you got? 27. Like, I'm single, still trying to figure out what I want to be in the I'm just trolling, but if that's true, we still love you. There's a place for you in this community. I hit certain life stages a little bit sooner than most. I met my wife in 8th grade, started dating in sophomore year of high school, engaged sophomore year of college, married senior year of college, first kid at 25. And we've been stacking up since, and we're done now. Surgically done with children. The wonders of modern medicine. There's enough babies in the world. At least I've contributed to Japan's growing elderly population. They have an inverted birth rate in Japan, so they like have all these crazy deals if you have more kids. You have to be Japanese to get those perks, though. Which I'm a quarter from the U.S., but I don't count. I'm too foreign. Alright, let's see. But no, Jose, I'm just trolling. Everybody comes in a different season of life with different aspirations and goals. Our lives move at our schedule. I'm an underwater ceramics technician. At first I thought you were trolling. I was like, underwear ceramics? What? What in the world? Some kind of weird art house project you doing there, bud? Underwater ceramic technician, though. That sounds kind of fun. I didn't know that application even existed. Like, I know there's like underwater welders where you get your like scuba license and all that. Oh, you're a dishwasher. Epic. Okay, so you're not putting on scuba gear, going underwater and like repairing industrial ceramic applications. Underwater welders, that's like, if you want to make peak dollar in the trades, get certified as an underwater welder. Now you're going to end up on like the west or the east coast most likely for different like military applications. But you just go on the bottom of boats, inspect them and weld them underwater. But because of all the certifications necessary so you don't drown and or electrocute yourself or sink the boat, pays really well apparently. Kind of like going like Alaskan king crab fishing. Yeah, dishwasher's solid. So what do you want to do with the rest of your life? You want to keep washing dishes? You got a plan? Everyone starts somewhere. Some people stay where they start. Others move around, find new ventures. Yeah, for me, I'm doing marketing, sales, brand management, YouTube, engineering, global leadership. You start to flutter. Maybe I'm having a midlife crisis at 32. Is that what it is? Or is it just what's necessary in today's globalized economy to feed 4 children in another country? Who knows? But it's nice hanging out with you while I sand and stain wood. It's looking good, right? We're getting there. And hopefully if you click the little buttons and the bells and the subs and stuff, I get to see you when I go on runs and live stream, or I'll pay attention for you if you comment on stuff, because I actually read my comments. Can't do all of them. Like if anything goes viral, eventually there's a point where like it's just not feasible, but most of the time I do try to keep pace with it. Alright. This is gonna look so nice. I'm hoping today I can finally assemble. There's still a lot of steps and I still gotta feed my army. They haven't started begging yet, but it's gonna come. I'm actually an executive marketing promoter for a Fortune 500 company. Oh, that's exciting. Executive marketing promoter for Fortune 500. Well, I mean, you're shooting kind of low at Fortune 500, you know, if you're in Fortune 100 or 50. Okay, so what are you marketing? I tried to move into marketing at my company, and then it was just like a timing thing. I ended up having to exit because my role ended. Oh, got a couple. Drippy. We don't want any drips. No drips. Definitely don't want that. Drippy brush. Alright, so all those are done now. We can do tabletops, which means you dress up as Mickey Mouse outside the local Disney store. That, you know, you should really write a resume because you are doing a wonderful job reframing your roles. And I think that's a great start. It's a highly competitive market, right? So really making yourself stand out there, as long as you're honest. So tell me the hardest thing you've done in that role. Do a mock interview. Hedged hog earthquake. There was one yesterday. How's it going, bud? I'm in Tokyo, so we have earthquakes all the time. Nah, in all seriousness, I'm a proud handyman. That's awesome. Well, I love the DIY. And me and my wife did construction when we first started dating in high school. So, definitely all about that world. So, I mean, you're a handyman, so you're welcome to judge my approach, but the way that I do polyacrylic, especially on large sheets, because I want to work it really thin, I just kind of dab it all over. This is the second coat. I go against the grain first to kind of give it a nice, good spread. And then do nice long strokes along the grain for the finisher. And then it looks nice and clean. Give it a little light sanding at the end of it. Should be golden. And I already did the sides, so I don't hit the sides twice. Ain't nobody got time for that. You gonna apply polyacrylic on them sandals? Of course, they're gonna look so good when I'm done with them. They're trending on the TikTok shop. Get your polyacrylic sandals here. Touch up 1 second. Yeah, let's do the other one. All right. Dab, 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 dab. Dab, 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 dab. It's funny, you know, with your children, you're supposed to like equip them to like go out and live and have skills and all this. But what they don't tell you is like if you let your children like learn skills and things, they're gonna make mistakes, and that's gonna mess up your projects. So you're constantly deciding when are you gonna give them a learning opportunity and when do you just not. And my daughter and my son were like, "Hey, can we help? We want to help paint. And can we stain it?" And I'm like, I do not want to sand multiple levels of like little hard dimples off of this. Like, I just got to get this table done, friends. So I like let them hold my arm while I was doing the painting. Like, I got super control freak about it. And afterwards I was like, I could have fixed anything they did. I still don't feel bad about it because I'm you'll find you can't ever be like a perfect parent. There's always something. There's a little bit of give and take. That was definitely one of those moments. Right. Now we got a couple straight boards and we're in good shape. No, man, you're doing great. I can tell you're meticulous about your work. And you use pocket holes. Well, you know, people have a lot of perspectives on pocket holes. Actually, one of my first viral TikTok videos, I think it went to like 1.2 million views or something, it was like one of those like snarky 4:30 a.m. videos that I made where I just was a little bit too candid and sarcastic. Someone had this really obnoxious way of joining two pieces of wood together where they took a chisel and they chiseled along the grain to kind of like rip out a portion of the wood, screwed down into the next piece, and then glued the top and sanded it in so it's like an invisible joint. And I just like grabbed my Craig jig and duetted it, putting two pieces of wood together in like 4 seconds and just said like the way they're doing it is wrong. And you got to be very careful with the trades on these platforms because they just went wild of like, how dare an engineer have a perspective on woodworking? What a crappy joint. People saying it's strong or not strong, or this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So then I started flexing and like showing all my other woodworking projects and crap that I've made. It was great. I doubled down on it, but that was a fun one. Have you seen that video? Wait, the one that I duetted or the one with me? Because if it's the one with me, that would be hilarious. I was like, the way you're doing it is just wrong, and everyone was like super fragile about it. That would be so funny, especially because that was on TikTok and we're over here on YouTube. Alright, so I'm going to do these ones. I'm just going to hold it in the middle. Part of me is debating if this needs another coat, but to match everything else, I'll just hit it. I'll hit it light. If I wanted to be really lame about it, I would just like do one face, because there's only one part that's seen, and actually not even all of these boards will be seen. It's just because I will know if it's not stained on every side. Isn't that terrible? Do you ever have moments like that? Like, because I'm tall, I'm 6'3", so I used to do painting in people's houses, and whenever you're doing trim, oh man, I'm super like meticulous about trim, and I can go into a room and see that somebody painted it fast and it drives me bonkers. But I would trim, you know, the face of the door frame, and then I'd get up on a step ladder and always get the top, and then every once in a while I'd paint over someone's work and they just completely skip the top of the trim because they're like, no one's ever gonna see it. Drives me crazy. It's like, how dare you? But I understand, you're getting paid per hour, you gotta move fast, you don't want to waste the customer's money. How many people are gonna be up on a step ladder looking at that? You know, I can stand on my tippy toes and see it. So that was a journey for me. I had a boss once who's like, you need to paint fast. I was like, but it has to be straight. He's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Construction's a really interesting field. It's terrible if you're an optimizer. Unless you're getting like really high ticket jobs, like doing rich people's houses or something like that. Otherwise, like, the speed is definitely a key factor. But for me, like, because I painted my whole house before I sold it and moved to Japan, like, if I go to bed, I want to look up and see a nice crisp line where two colors come together. I don't want to see no color up on the ceiling. Like, come on, man. Can't be just slopping paint up there like you don't care about it. It's funny. It's like one of my favorite interview questions of like, tell me one weakness you have, you know? You're like, I care too much. It's like the best interview response. Oh, I get too dedicated to my work. Care too much. But with painting, it's true. Or even with this project, like, I really don't need to be staining this right now. I've already put one coat on. It's literally on the very bottom, partially under a table. Someone has to be laying on the floor, looking at it, and they're only going to see one face of this, and the other one's going to be tucked behind it. But I know someday we're going to move this table to a new house, and some friend's going to come over and help me move, and I don't want them to look behind the table and be like, oh, what a shoddy job. You didn't stain the backside boards too? Is that true? Absolutely not. I think it's an indication that I have some problems. Got some things I might need to work through, right? Something unresolved in my childhood I need to navigate. Alright. One more of these, and then I'm going to see if the top boards are dry enough, but I'm skeptical, actually. But the reason I brought up Craig Jig, like pocket holes, is some people think like you need to be doing biscuit joints and like proper meticulous joinery. And while I would love to get into that and use hand saws to carve perfect square holes like Japanese style, like I know the way to put two pieces of wood together with my cheater kit, and I am more than happy with that because it's still worlds ahead of IKEA. IKEA, as I like to call it. Yuck. One tip would be to start your next paint stroke over a dry area and then go over the paint area. One tip, start on the dry area. Go over. Oh, I understand. Do I understand? No one's going to see this board. Alright, let's see. Just a light touch. And then, is there anything else I need to do? This is like one of my best lives I've had in a while. It's fun hanging out, friends. But for what you're doing, it doesn't really matter right now. Let me see. I think these still tacky? Dang, it dries fast. Really? Alright, let's flip this board and hit the other side. Oh god, that went into the gutter. That's like the worst place for that. Nasty. Gross. Have you heard of frog tape? Yeah. I don't use frog tape. I'm too good for it. I say that legitimately. Like, I will never tape when I paint. If you know what you're doing, you should be able to pull a nice clean line. Assuming you still have like motor control. So we're now doing the back side of these boards basically. Again, I'm just kind of getting the paint out on there. This is the second coat. I already sanded it, so as long as it's along the grain with the final stroke, it'll be nice and clean. Although my brother swears by frog tape. He did commercial painting as well. And he has the discretion with speed that I lack. It's, but like it's just necessary for him to do the job full time. All right. It's gonna be so fun to put this together. Yeah, I think frog tape's solid. A lot of people need it. The problem is like you could spend so much time setting up the tape, and then you depend on it. You get sloppy. You didn't set up your tape the right way, and then it bleeds, and then you're going over it again anyway. Or you could just do it right. That's how I've always kind of landed. It's like just figure out how to push ink into your brush the right way. Follow that edge. Use a Purdy brush. It's all about the brand, right? Use the right brand and you're good. Yeah, that looks good. Brush off a little bit. Yeah, out of all the construction-y things I've done, I do like painting probably the best. Because you just put on Lady Gaga and get to work, right? Like, it's pretty simple. With like framing and stuff, you have to think a lot more. I've done that as well. Same with like DIY furniture. Like this step is, I can talk and hang out. It's fun. And there's a typhoon coming and some tropical storms, so I'm very glad I got this job done in time. Well, the hard part's this is super thin. I'm going to try to connect it with brad nails on the side, so we're going to see how this turns out. Until I actually put this together, I'm not confident in this build because I'd use a whole bunch of scrap right before we moved between houses and cleared out our garage. Do I want to hit these again? Oh, God. I don't know. These seem... I think these are solid. No. I'm not going to hit them again, but I am plucking them off and flipping them. Just because they stuck a little bit. And then I'll go clean my brush, and I'll start building. But again, I provided context earlier. It's Underwear Saturday, right? Kids get to stay up, play video games, or not stay up, but like do whatever they want. So I won't be live streaming assembling because it's important to let your kids be free at times when appropriate. I think we got a pretty good build going on here. It's very promising. Some light sanding in about an hour and a half. And I think we'll be good to go. Thoughts on RDJ's Doctor Doom? That is a good question. I mean, I've kept up with the Marvel Universe. The first thing, like, the best engineers know when to say they don't know. Like, that's just an indication to me of, like, intelligence, of knowing where your domain knowledge starts and stops. I have followed the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I never grew up reading the comics. So, like, I did some light research just to understand, like, is there a connection between Iron Man and Doctor Doom? There's some plot lines where Doctor Doom, like, inhabits Iron Man. So, like, the crossover seems like Marvel always takes liberties with their content, so I'm sure that's fine. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is going to make God knows how much he's making off of that one just to pull him in again, right? What is it, new different mask, same task or something like that? Like he's got the pizzazz for it. So I don't know. I don't want to say I'm tired of Marvel. They've just, Disney has milked so much, like so much out of them. Where I'm like, we're on Avengers 4 or 5. Forgot where this will take us. And they're still great epic movies, but like how many times can you have a camera whipping a circle around 5 heroes that are all spinning and doing aerials
You know, like I'm picturing like Age of Ultron when they're all defending the button. Like how many times can you do that with different hero ensembles and it's still as impactful? Right? Like the very first Avengers movie, yes. That one with Age of Ultron, still yes. Infinity Wars was still solid with Endgame, but like now we're getting into it'll be 5 and 6. I don't know. Like they can make a movie about whatever they want now at this point with whoever they want to cast, and it's still kind of fun. I'm gonna try to see Deadpool with my wife, so that'll be a good date night. But Jose, I don't know about impactful, rather nostalgic. Yeah, I guess that works. I guess there's nostalgia in it. They have a lot of great assets that they continue to re-leverage and repartition, and I think bringing RDJ back, we all knew it was going to happen somehow, right? I thought that would happen, just like Hugh Jackman retires from Wolverine and then they bring him back for Deadpool, right? But friend, I gotta go be a dad. Appreciate you. If you do the whole subscribey thing, maybe I'll see you in the future on another live woodworking or something. But enjoy your life in Texas. Get some sleep because sleep is important. And enjoy your underwater ceramic technician work in the coming weeks. Great restaurants in Tokyo, all of them. That's a whole nother content. See you around, friend.